Hey, yeah, very good late evening, early morning. I don't know why I say that because I guess some people sometimes they're up all night, change hours, people. So I don't know what to say. Late evening. It's in Los Angeles right now. It's sorry, I don't know what the time it is. 1:30. 1:01. 1:01. So morning. So um, I got my tea a little hot, so special ingredient. We turn on the fan for a second. Hang in there. Hang in there, my people. All of none. All of none that are listening. All of none. What's that stupid show? I don't watch any of this show, but it's a Master of None. Master of None. I remember I saw that guy. That Aziz Ansari, whatever. He's some comic or whatever like that. I was on Robertson. You know, Robertson. Like near Melrose. Santa Monica is like the Sir Lounge. I think. What's her name? Vanderpump, that whatever owns all that shit. I saw her one time in a Rolls Royce. She wouldn't even get out. She pulls over or whoever the driver is, and she's just sitting in there. It was like a Saturday night, and people go, "Oh, who the fuck? Who cares?" 60-year-old. This. That's all it is. It's stupid. Brings that her idea of what like England, kind of like how people are supposed to party. And it's funny because I walk by some of those places. They play some decent music in them, but there's no dance floor. It's not a place to dance. It's a place to sit, spend a lot of money on expensive food or drinks, and listen to the DJ play some music, whatever. It's just not my thing. I just that the gay element, it's got no of a different ilk. Like respectfully, I say that. You know, it just the music is not like it can't get down there. Like to that different element, a different vibe. And I used to like Sunset. I used to like going, but all those places are all gone. And what happens is you get older and everything changes. The music changes, the scenes change, and the environment clubs are gone. I mean, it's just the way it works. The newer generation comes in, and the old kind of that's like they go out, but they don't go out. They already settled down. They have kids already. They're married. They're not in shape anymore. They don't. Um, but you see, I was a dancer, like a real dancer, and it's time anymore kind of thing. I'm a real dancer, so dancers dance. To go out and get down. By any means necessary. And you know, the problem is that it's harder and harder because you're again. I'm not far from 50, and the younger generation, these places, they're just not conducive. They're guest lists to get in, and you have to know somebody kind of thing, and it's kind of stupid. Like these kids get into the topic, which almost led right into it with what I said earlier, but what not to be. But I saw this guy. So I was coming home. I did double duty at the gym today, uh, morning, noon, and at night. Jesus, um, bothering me, not my foot, but I've had issues with because I do an immense amount of leg work. And I'm starting to get this kind of like weird shooting kind of pain. Like right now it's not too bad, but and then when I went to the gym, I did legs. I started I was okay. okay. But then when I was doing the seated leg press, it kind of acted up. So I think it's maybe some type of nerve damage or something. Um, I'm not the strongest. Again, I've talked about this many times. I'm not like by any means a strong bodybuilder, but I have a very strong mentality. Like I work very hard. Um, might not look like it, like you see a guy who puts whatever 25 on each on the Smith machine, 25s or maybe 35s, and doing squats is like, oh, he's squatting, yeah, but you know, I'm working as hard as all on my shoulder, up to like, today I went up to 95 for the first time. Very proud of myself. That's the most I've ever, what I do is I hoist up a dumbbell. I rest it on my shoulder, and then there's a thing I can grab, for balance, and then I'll squat, up and down. I'll do like, sets of 20. I'll take a break for a second, and then I'll put it on the other shoulder. I'll do another 20, four more. And, I went up and I forget the iron grips, they go up, in my gym, they go up to 120s. I have gyms that have 150s, but it's like, I worked up to 75, 85. What? Let me fucking just feel it. And it was already 10:30 at night. The gym was already emptied out pretty much. And I said, when I lift something, when I'm going to hoist something to my maximum or pull, I give out a loud grunt, like when I'm pushing toward 100% effort, I will live out like a real loud one, a real loud. I don't want to say it, do it out loud because I live in a building here. I don't want to wake up the whole building. But I said, I don't get. I said this. There's nobody around. I said, no fear, dude. Like I'm here to be a warrior. I'm let's fucking do this. And I never did it before. I never took the 95, 75. I did 85. I said I know I can get that nice. I can just get it up here and get it, positioned because you see those weights. Um, it's got to sit kind of comfortably because I'm not tearing into my shoulder, and it's only like again, think about it, like squatting 100 pounds is nothing for anybody that knows what they're doing, but just getting the dumbbell up and the position thing. If you ever see bodybuilders when they're doing incline, you have somebody kind of help them get the weights up here. Once they got it here, they're good. But just getting it to the position, sometimes that's a lot of energy expended. I don't need anybody to try to help me position or lift it. I can do it on my own. So, I at 95 up there, and the right side for me is a lot stronger because of like I did it. I fucking did it, and I was like, I said to myself, I go, I knew because the 85 I could barely was able to get it on my left. And I said, it was the first time I got the 95 up there. I said, all right, it's enough. I don't need to fucking, you know, I was already like kind of worn out already. It was just hard, like workouts are like, well, I benched 5, today. So next week I should be able to do 235. Look, it's like a kind of, there's a plateau, sometimes you might go down a little bit as you're going up, it's like turbulence, on a flight. Um, Remember, you ever see like a drop, like you're on a plane and the plane drops like a couple hundred feet, like whoa, but the plane is continually going to, like I write down, like I'm kind of like, very goal oriented with my weight, like I want to be a lot bigger, of course, right? Everybody does. But, for me, it's always been a challenge. You know, I have kind of like I don't have the genetics, to be a big bodybuilder. I also am not going to take, crazy, growth hormone tests, it's fucking steroids, all this kind of shit. I'm not going to do it. I will take a little something. Um, well, as far as possibly Andros SARMs, um, Tribulus, some things, at this age already, a little bit of help, a little bit of help. But nothing like Anavar, Dianabol, or anything kind of it's funny because there's a company, it's called High Tech Pharmaceuticals, High Tech Pharma, and they make like these pills. It's funny. It's like this is Dianabol, Anavar, um, Decabolin. I know it's like Decaderabolins, like the real one, but it's not the it's nothing like I think there are pro hormones though, but they're not like fucking Dianabol or Anavar. I mean, dude, if you take that real shit in your body, your like body is anabolic, you will get definitely a result. I mean, that shit is like, no joke. It's like Anadrol 50. I mean, that's like serious shit. Um, what I take is like a little nothing compared to that stuff, and I break out a lot from that. I'm willing to deal with the breakout, the most, whatever side effect that I get from it. Everything else seems to be okay. But the weight gain, that takes time for me. I mean, well, as when I was younger, it took a long time. I mean, again, I didn't hit, oh my God, I didn't hit 175 pounds till I was 31. I mean, that's like, well, it might not seem a long time, but can you believe I was lifting? I told you I started in the late 80s. So, dude, I was really, really small. I mean, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot of weight, but if you're solid, 5'9", it's not bad. I mean, it's not like, even at 150, I was like, still pretty good shape. You think what's 150 pounds, but you look up like Danny Padilla. He competed in the Olympia. Lee Priest. Whatever. Like, what he's 5'2". I mean, it's nothing. You can't. What was it? Sean Roden, whatever, was like so 5'9", 5'10", or 250. Like that's the going rate, and even that's nothing. Not huge. 100 is the going rate. Which is unbelievable. It's like 200 pounds. Topic. But I pushed myself really hard because you know I push myself in the gym sometimes like that because I want to challenge that fear, the doubt. Like like in your mind starts thinking, I never did this before. I might not be able to do it, and that's what separates the warrior from everybody else. Nobody in there, like, very hard. You have to be able to have a level of intensity that is built foundation of knowledge of like being able. It's experience, right? You can't like you're not going to be able to push yourself that hard if you haven't been in the game that long. Like it's the best way I could say. Like you have to um, be somewhat advanced, as in fitness and body. I have been around a long time. Again, I thousands and thousands of hours of gym experience. So when I got back into it like a couple months ago, then once I start writing it, and I can push myself and challenge myself, and that fear thing is really important for me to deal with because I feel like that's what's holding me back in all facets of life. That fear thing. Like I remember I saw that woman at that bar dancing, upstairs when I was there. The guys basically they I sat down at a booth. I was right maybe 7 feet away from her. She wasn't far at all. Just the guys positioning. They made sure the kind of boxed me out, you know. I remember it, you know, and DJ put on some. I think the DJ, he knows like what I can get down to anything, but put on something like for me to like get started, and I just sat there, and I sat there because I was like, I didn't want to be the dance monkey, the dancing clown. And that leads into the topic, you know, what I did with my life. I spent thousands and thousands of hours going to bars and nightclubs, type of dancing clown, you know, and not, you know, because, well, you weren't really a clown, you know, you're just dancing, you know, like you're really good, you know. And I said, yeah, but okay, you're not getting paid to be there, honing your craft, but for what? What are you honing? Like what you're not a professional dancer, like you're not getting paid anywhere, not doing it. So you're trying to use that as HDV, high demonstration value, to hope to meet women, and it really doesn't work. I mean, it you might think it creates an illusion that it might work because then women might come up to you, you know, oh wow, you're great, can I dance with you, whatever. But the end result is the end result. Was my reality for 25 years. Um, I'm not exaggerating. You know, like what do you do? You know, so I sat there and I was like, didn't want to fucking, you know, do the same shit over, you know, it's like that leads nowhere. You know, it leads fucking nowhere. So eventually she went downstairs, left with those two guys. I just wanted to see them. You know, the pickup artist saying, well, what we need to do is befriend the group, find out exactly what the story is, who she's with, how they know each other. And those guys, they know. I mean, this is kind of weird though. Like, this is black guy and this little kind of white guy. And I was trying to figure out, okay, well, what's the story, you know, who's fucking her? Like, who's the boyfriend? What's the deal here? They're both trying to, like, what is going on, you know? And it's very hard to get that information when allowed the DJ's going, and even the DJ's got a microphone. You know, he's telling me, oh, my man showed up here. He's talking to me. Guy doesn't even know my name, my street dance name or anything. Never even asked, you know. I mean, dude, I'm like OG, you know, I've been around a long time, and you know, it's like you would think he would ask, but and he's not even that good, you know. Like there's so much great fucking real funk music and shit from the '80s, and so much shit he could be playing when I want to get. And he just puts on generic Michael sometimes, and you know, Billie Jean, whatever, rock with you. You know, it's just generic crap. So I do the fucking basic transition. It's like nothing, you know, for me. It's how I started, by copying Michael from the beginning, but I expanded like on that. Was 25 years ago. It was like learning different styles and everything, automatic, you know, everything from popping, locking, boogaloo, COA. I'm not a modern jazz that kind of answer, but you know, I don't care what the fuck you play. Like, you know, any music, I can do improvisation to it because the lyrics. So I just kind of control, you know, in my own way. Like I look like I'm a pro. In a way, I am, but I'm not because you know, like, was there such thing as a pro freestyle dancer? I don't know how to. I don't know how you make a living doing that. Unless you're famous in some videos and stuff, but you know, all those guys do other. Now we can have a key. But that's a good indicator what not to do with your life. Don't be a dancing clown or the dancing monkey like I did for 25 years. It really goes nowhere. You know, it's because you know people want you to do your, you know, just go dance at you. So I remember the taxi driver drove me home from Anaheim a couple months ago. He goes, how long you dance for? I said, well, I went there, I danced my ass off for like 3 hours. He goes, 3 hours? He goes, you get laid, you get meet any women, you get anything? I said, no, it's energy, man. It's a lot of waste of energy. And I thought about, waste of energy. And that's what you're doing. Like, you're kind of like performing for these people, and it's not going any. Of course, like the dream, yeah. Like I know the fantasy in your mind is like somebody will come up to you that's like a movie producer or somebody will tell you, and they go, oh, an agent or something like that. I'm gonna put you in this. I'm gonna make you a star. Like you're this. I'm connected. I'm a or some famous somebody who's gonna take a liking to you. Like in Donna went to a nightclub one time, and there was black guy, I think, like he was a pro dancer. And next thing you know, he was on tour. He was on her. She signed him to like a tour. Put her in the video, put him in the videos and tours and everything like that. The dream, like it's not gonna happen, dude. Because you're living a. It's just people just don't care. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not a big deal. Like the people that have danced behind Britney Spears or J Lo, like, who knows who they are? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It goes on their demo reel or something, and they danced behind those people, but it doesn't mean that much. It's not that big of a deal because you're or the one them in the middle, the Britney, the J Lo, the MJ, whoever it was, that's who they're looking at. You're just going along, like it's not a big deal, man. Now how come I wasn't in any of those videos? Because I wasn't a choreographed dancer. I got to, yeah, that was my weakness. I just couldn't, because you got to basically dance like somebody else. Like the choreographer says, okay, I want you to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, well, but that's not to me. That's not like the way the body is supposed to move according to this song. So like that, and that's not me. It's just not wired to be like that. So you know, I'm more of like the freestyle dance monkey, clown or whatever they call it. Like, and it sounds like derogatory and everything like that, but the way, I mean, I feel like that's what it's amounted to. It's not a big deal. I mean, it doesn't have enough power. Like, but I've tried, to get women that way, and or just really, I was passionate about dance. I just saying I didn't do it just to get women out. I did it because I really enjoyed. It was fun, but you gotta understand that you can't. It's like you can't have it all. I talked about this to allow something in to let something out. You gotta be willing to sacrifice something to get something. And I noticed the dudes dancing. I thought that was my communication. It's not good enough. It wasn't enough. And the dudes that were talking to the chicks, getting in their head, those are the guys that were leaving with the women. I was the one getting all sweaty, my ass off, and then walking home in a soggy mess. What happened last Saturday night at that fucking piggy? I had a dress shirt on, and then they all left. It was around like 12:30. It wasn't even 2 o'clock. There was nobody upstairs except the DJ, and so I was like, they got nothing to do. I might as well just get down. He was put on something just for me, I guess. He wasn't playing exactly what I liked, but it was decent. Just remember, my shirt was soaked. It was fucking soaked with sweat. When I left there, I looked like a drowned rat. You know, that shirt was. Well, you got good cardio, and yeah, but that's not why I go out. Like look, I started this channel talking about how I can meet like the hot women, get what I want, and it's like a waste of time and energy in a way. It really is. I know, like the dream, the ultimate dream is like it's a fantasy. Like I wrote a script about it. I wrote that's what basically my script is. It's about a 47-year-old guy that can do this, and then he winds up competing against the best in the world in the World Street Dance Championships. I mean, he's a college professor of dance history, and he basically came in second, in a like a Star Search type contest in like the early '80s or whatever, the mid '80s or whatever, and he lost to like somebody that was better, like a Shabadoo, I call him. It's funny, like he, God rest in peace, a very good guy. It's like professors of dance history, and he's up, seeing my heart and desire as a dancer, basically pushes me, into this, to become like this Rocky of street dance. It's a cute script, and there's a female element. I wrote the whole thing out. It's a beautiful story with a love interest, an older woman like a Paula Abdulish, J Lo, somebody who's past their prime, and they wind up being one of the judges. And the whole show is rigged, where even though they're on my side, but the other people they're in cahoots, with a and then I go up against like the Les twins. I mean, it's an incredible, it's a beautiful story. It's like the Rocky of dancing. It's a Rocky of dance. It's an incredible script that I wrote, and nobody would listen to me. Absolutely, the script is registered. So if I ever see anything close, I will sue the fuck out of anybody. But it would be just an incredible, not documentary. It's a real feature. It would be a real feature, and I was hoping it would have been called Breaking Three. That would have been great. Um, that was my dream. That was my dream to make that movie. And good luck. Like I think very, very big. I was thinking twins. I was thinking Salah, possibly Jabberwockies. Again, having J Lo as one of the guest judges, along with somebody like a Don Campbellock, and then like a Chris Brownish. Having either or like a hip hop kind of guy, to play that third judge. It was a really, you know, and it's not just about dancing. It's got an incredible story in there. It really, really something. But anyway, it basically gave me an overview of what, and of course Shabadoo. I wrote it when Shabadoo was alive, but he's passed. So I was thinking Boogaloo Shrimp could possibly, he was already written in it. Also, I think I could have him play the professor, because he's no longer with us. Um, it was my dream, to make a movie like that. Yep. What not to do with your life? Oh, I didn't finish about that guy that walked by me that with the chip. He had his hand, and so this little Mexican guy, whatever little. I'm not that big anyway. I don't. The girl was pretty hot, and he walks by the sidewalk. He's holding the girl's hand, and I looked at the woman. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't. He just walked by me, but he had this like look on his face, like this. Look, like this angry look. He's got this beautiful fucking chick. He's walking. He's got her hand, and he walks by me with this type of look. Here, we'll do it again. It's this angry kind of caveman, tough man, angry kind of man. I would be fucking happy. I'd be happy if Kevin Hart talked about this. He goes, it's cool to be like, mean. Like it's cool to be like an asshole tough guy. Who is this? Who is this? And I have a whole philosophy on all of this. I think what happens is we're living in depressing times. Even before COVID, you notice a lot of people wear black. Even during the day, they wear black. Black, depressing color that you wear at funerals for the most part. So all of this is geared to anger and depression. Um, and I know it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense to me, and that's all that matters. So I think that this type of this because like I guess if you're walking around happy, people look at you like there's something wrong with you. Like, why are you so happy? What's happy? You know, like everybody's driving, they're angry. You know, like they got to get to where they got to go. You know, like in my way, it's just a common denominator to be mad. You know, like normal. You know, and people with a smile on their face, like looks like there's something wrong with you or something, you're mentally crazy or something like that. You know, I definitely can tell you there's more people that hold the low tier, you know, of anger. Um, what I mean by like walking around with a scowl on their face than they're walking around with a smile on their face because you know, they just I don't know why. I don't know. It's a good you know what it is because there's very few people that have and they're getting out of life and most people are not. So you know, that's what it is. You know, you got a lot of people that don't have, you know, and I guess that's why they're angry. I don't know. And the people that do have don't want to show it because they don't want to be targets. So, you know, they're afraid that people are going to try to rob them or something. Meanwhile, I work my ass off in the gym. Now, don't jump to conclusions because I realize building a body is not building a life. I told you that before. It's a pill, marshmallow man. But if you're a billionaire, you know that's a big deal. Um, is it cream puff marshmallow man or whatever? You know where I'm going with that. You don't look it up, but you know I do not hold the misnomer, the nonsense that oh you know if a guy's like a bodybuilder he's going to get all the women kind of thing. No, 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 no. I know it's not that big of a deal. Status and money is a big deal. So you know that's different. You know, and that's why I work on all three. Um, you know, and that's what not to do with in their life. So you know when I go to this place on the weekends, I see the same kind of people out there. And the people that I see that I notice they're not getting any. They're not getting any. They're not getting laid. They're not getting women. They're not getting nothing. They're kind of hangarounds. And I don't do you know I do enough observations to look at these guys and I see they dress about the same every week and they're kind of like what I would consider a little disheveled. Um, you know, and you gotta like improve constantly. You got to improve whatever on yourself constantly. Now, I talked the three pillars that goes along with everything, but the little things, why not? You know, if you're gonna the Sunset Boulevard, man, it's fucking, you know, come on, you know, you can see the Hollywood Hills right there. You know, brand new jeans like cost like $15. You can buy brand new. I've seen Wranglers, whatever, like you know, pair of like quality tennis shoes. I got these Asics, $50, brand new. You know, you can't walk around like a bum, man. You know, you can get like a nice dress shirt at Ross for like the cost. But you know what? Women see not only women see everything, but it builds into your confidence. Like you don't want to be one of these people like this curmudgeon, you know, guys that are just, you know, they're there every week. They ain't getting any better. They ain't doing nothing. They're, you know, and I've already belittled myself of like, don't do what I did, you know, in my life. Don't waste your. But I'm also saying, don't do what those losers are doing also, because notice what doesn't work. And I think about that. And I said, man, you know, I don't want to be like that. You know, like, shoes get worn out. If you're like me and you walk around a lot, I can wear out shoes very quickly. You know, I could tell not like a hole in it, but a little bit. Like in these other Asics I had, there's like a 2 or 3 centimeter a tear like in the fabric of the shoe, and my sock, I could see my sock through, it's coming out. And that's like just that's that ain't gonna work, man. Like you could tell, it's like that woman that I saw, she had on these nice, clean Ace, Adidas shoes with she wasn't dressed to the nines, but her package was presented very nicely, and that's what I want to do. Like, I could dress like a woman, but you want to present your package very nicely, and for a guy, it's not that hard to do. Now, I've seen this one clown. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to belittle him, but I've seen this clown, this guy that shows up, and he's wearing a fucking tank top outside of this bar. Now, wouldn't go in, but he's standing outside, inside, or like a workout, like a bodybuilder kind of tank top. What the fuck are you doing? I don't care. Like, and he's not even. He thinks he's like Mr. He's not. He's a clown. Um, no, you know, go get yourself a fucking nice dress shirt or a polo, a nice fucking form-fitting shirt or sport coat and sport coat, and a nice pair of slacks or jeans or something, and a nice pair of shoes. Don't show up like a fucking. It's not a gym, like a clown. Then I've seen this other guy, this other idiot. He shows up wearing pants that are like something I would wear to the gym. He's out. What are you fucking out of your mind? I mean, like, what? It's just amazing. It is really amazing to me. Like, it costs so little to clean to fix yourself up, and it just shows like easiness. It really does. Like, I don't. And I'm telling you, the women they see that, and unless you are, I mean, someone of incredible status, and more than likely, if you are had somebody groom you, like teach you, okay, no, 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 you can't dress like you gotta dress this way, GQ or something like that. They show these people like so they don't embarrass themselves. Like, man, I could show you. I've got like 30 sport coats here. Um, when I do, I don't fuck around. I bring like a backpack with me sometimes. I have my fucking suit, brand new shoes in that bag. Like and I'll change in the bathroom, and when I come out, you know, it's like fucking badass. Or when I have shirts that really form fit good. It doesn't like I said, brand new clean pair of jeans, $15. Amazon, Adidas, not Adidas, whatever, nice shoes, $50 or a little less. Brand new shoes, man. Um, that speaks a lot. When you dance, the women look at your feet. They want. Now I do this for me again because it builds my confidence. You know, I know my hair kind of looks, but I like it even shorter, and the back's got to be done. But it's whatever, like just little shit like that. Whatever. It costs $40, $50, 30, $40 for the hair. Fucking done. I'll shave off the goatee when it is kind of like lazy, but you do want to present an image of like, how do I say this? Uh, that like let's say you're an architect or a financing like a construction company and building a property, right? It's going to be fucking nice when it's done, right? But, you got the blueprint or whatever, like they're starting, after the foundation is there, or whatever, the structure of the building, but, they're working on it. They're working on it. Think about this. Like, who's going to buy that when it's not complete, right? There are people that see the potential, like they see the guys working on it they're working on it every day. It's coming together, and they're gonna say, "Oh my god, this thing is done! Like, this thing is gonna be incredible. How much do you want for it?" Right? So there's people like that So my point is, they will invest in something that they see like it's on the way, like it's well on its way, right? Think about that same thing with women. They're gonna look at you. You don't have to be finished and perfect. You have to see like it's building, it's on its way. Like, when I tell them I'm getting my doctorate degree, now like that can work against me too. They say, "What are you? How old are you? Why don't you have that already? What's wrong?" You know, but I use everything in my power to show like I'm that mansion that's being built, like it's on its way. Because that's the only chance that I have of getting anything, for women, like because now what most women want is the completed mansion already, that's already turnkey, like it's already ready to move in. That so basically they want the guy that's already established, successful, and well put together, the complete deal. They don't want being built in the process. They want something that you can move right in. I don't blame them. Think about that. Think about that analogy. Like when you see those guys, I mean, I don't even talk to them. I don't even talk to those people because I know they're losers. I hate belittling. That doesn't do anything for me. But show up wearing a fucking tank top. You show up wearing a fucking sweat bar. On a weekend. What the hell's the matter with you? What the women just see that they're not gonna take you seriously, man. Don't you know the bar is very high. You just can't be a schlub. You can't be a bum. And then like the dress, the way you're put together, yeah, that does say a lot about you. But then when they start talking to you, like they're gonna want to find out, like, okay, what do you got going on? Like, who are you? What are you? And you have to have something going on. You have to, or you're dead. Or you better have some serious money. Now, if you have some serious money and you're not dressed properly, then you're a moron. And this guy looks, I didn't know, some of these guys are trust fund babies. They got money. They don't look like nothing. Um, so I don't know what people, I assume when somebody shows up, they kind of just, they nothing special. They ain't dressed and showing, just shows like there's nothing for the most part. I can almost willing to wager that they have nothing. There's nothing behind that. There's no vault that. It's not, and I dress really well, but they got nothing. That can be fake. That can be fake too. They call it ghetto fabulous. So there's that. There's that also. But all that doesn't concern me because what concerns me is me getting mine. And again, that's something that can be quite challenging. I think about that woman that I saw last week. Oh my god! And then the week before, and I said to myself, "Fuck," So what was wrong with me? Like, well, I didn't do an approach. I wasn't warrior on. I'm trying to assess the situation because I try to avoid combative conflicts, which are very, very, very easy to ensue when I make my presence known, not just showing up as presence, but when I mean my presence known is that if I see something, I always dudes can get kind of. It's like the only way to find out is to to go in. Is to go in. It's like a war. You can't fight the battle from the from from too far away. You can't. You gotta be in. You gotta be in there in the neutral in the neutral zone, as I like to say. guess it all goes down in the neutral zone. And I really don't like confrontations and conflicts. You know, I was like, what's the point? Then get nothing. You just showed you setting up. Yeah, but that's not. You know, the pickup artists say befriend the group. I guess there's more power in that. Doesn't guarantee confrontation with guys. You got to befriend them, and you might not get the woman, but at least then you find out like, okay, well, what you're figuring out what's the story here without asking them. Because if you ask them, they um, but you don't want to come off as gay, you know, either. You want to, it's like there's that middle ground. There's that middle ground. You get nothing. Now, if you're on this end and you're too over aggressive, you're more than likely going to start a conflict and confrontation. So what it is right here where I am, you want to be kind of like, all right, I want to figure out exactly what's going on, and try to figure out, okay, do I got a shot here if I'm kind of having fun, and then be nice to the other people, find out how they know each other, see if she's in a relationship. Hey, how do I wish I could meet somebody like you, a joke, whatever. You've got to fuck it, something like that. Because I'm interested, and without being too much. It's not You're not too far, you're not too there, and you're not too. That's even worse. The too far aggressive. But that man, wow, I wish I could meet somebody like you. Something like that. It's like a cute. Like, oh, you're just adorable. Anything. Um, because too much of one and too much or not enough of the other or whatever. Too much. Um, you're setting yourself up for you're setting yourself up for problems. The frustration that I get when I'm closer to that side, the shy, reserved. And I'll tell you something. When I leave a fucking place and I see something that was really good, what I call a 9+, beyond extraordinary, whatever, the pain, it's like of not knowing. It's unbelievable. It's unfucking. It's an awful. Or you're on your deathbed and you just died. There's going to be a group of people around you who, and they're all versions of you, and they're going to say, you were alive, and you were supposed to be this, and you didn't try, and you let us down. You let us down because you could have lived through you. You didn't try. We have to go through fucking eternity not knowing. Like Les Brown said it was amazing. It was amazing. If you can find Les Brown motivations, listen to it. It's like we could have something like that. You know, I know I'm kind of mumbling and stumbling, but I'm just trying to give you the idea that like of people around. We could have we ever reason. Those versions will be around your deathbed, and they are going to fucking haunt you. Like they're gonna say, "Chose not to." That's basic. So that's what it feels like when I leave and a woman I didn't try it, or like I saw her out there and she did look at me like, but those guys. I just did not want to get into more than likely an altercation because I those two guys like who's fucking her. Like, what? It was an odd, it was just a very odd fucking thing. And they moved too far away. Like, I was right in front of the fucking place. Why did they move? They moved maybe 70 feet away to talk to her. But then it doesn't matter. What matters is, the pickup artist said one thing. When you see the woman, you go like this. You go 1, 2, 3, move in. That's what it is. This procrastination is almost always the kiss of death. It always, always is. It's better to just go right in there and get a no than it is to stand around and wait for some perfect time, because there is no perfect time. They get on this, they got other guys, they got on it. Look, the women hold a lot of currency when they have the goods. And what I mean by the goods is, yeah, their physical attributes, but also their age. Like, it was very captivating, very well put together. And every once in a while, I'll see something like that that's captivating and very well put together. For the most part, they're in a big hurry. It's just, that's just the way it is. So, I just hope you can come away with what I'm talking with, like that Les Brown analogy. In anything in your life, do that when you had a chance. You were afraid. You were afraid for whatever reason. Now, I do it. Was I afraid? Yes, because I didn't want to. I've been kicked out of bars. Now, I don't drink anymore. Bars, it was because I was drinking and I was becoming like hostile. I'm not becoming like that anymore. So, like, I shouldn't be so worried about it. But, these times are a little different. Like, guys can be very, defensive. And I just don't want to be reactive to where, because I told you, I know how to fight now, and I know how to, bodybuilding. It's very easy. Great, get under my skin, try to get me, and I get frustrated because I'm not getting laid, I'm not getting nothing, and I said, well, if I'm going down, you're gonna come down with me, like, get that kind of mentality. That does not help in the slightest. So, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because people don't help each other. That's why. That's why it's difficult. Think about this, like, dude that owns all these houses, right? And that, it's like, people, they don't even have a fucking, $5. They got nothing. It's completely unbalanced and unfair. It should be socialism. I'm not saying, the whole, but do you see else gets, the people that are trying, you could be trying and still get nothing. But you have to keep trying, because if you don't, what's the alternative? You wind up like some bum in a corner smoking a cigarette or whatever. It's a loser. It's like, it's that way. It's like a nothing. It's a, man, I putting so much time working out and everything. I'm working on my doctorate now again. Look, it took me a year and a half to get my specialist degree. A year and a half. But I got it, and still doctoral level work. And then another year and a half I put in doctoral level work. And I got dismissed from the school. I got dismissed. But still, all the work I did counts. It's not all for naught. It's like in life. So even though, like, I'm working at another school now trying to get my doctorate, it's not all a waste. All the work counts. I'm going to say it one more time. All the work counts. I know I'm constantly working to improve on everything. And, like, I woman last week, last night, last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, all the fucking times, I'm not getting the lay, I'm not getting any action from women. But the point is, all the work counts. It all means something. And you have to remember that. Like, it's really, it's a grind. It's a grind to become a better version of yourself. That's what it is. Home, then you wind up like, those guys that I saw out there, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like those guys. You know, you don't want to be like somebody that's not going nowhere. Because women, remember what I said, the mansion analogy, the house, the the foundation, the construction, property they're building. Somebody will buy it if they see it's like it's almost done. Like it's coming together, like it's good. People will invest. That's exactly what you need to be. You need to be the finished product, of course, or you need to be damn near like it's almost done. Like people can see, holy shit, this has value. That's how a woman is gonna look at you. She wants a fucking mansion. She doesn't want a Skid Row. Some people like they come from money. They got a good boost. Daddy paid for them to go to USC or whatever. Then they landed a good job. They went to law school or whatever, doctor, a producer. They hit him like that. Doesn't matter. Okay, some people, they got a good, like that. Good for them. It's whatever. There's a million different people and then there's people that started from absolute nothing that made it. Those are the ones that always you're going to hear the success stories from. There's not that many of them. That's why most people decent foundation that get started. An average foundation, they come from good, but there are plenty people that started from absolutely nothing that became. Yeah, it's a lot harder, and the grind is usually a lot longer. That's how it is. I mean, that's how it is. Um, you know, it's and then there's no guarantees. There's no fucking guarantees. It's I sit there and I just it's like time. It adds up very quickly, but you want to be conscious and aware of it like constantly, and then try to see out over the span of a couple years and say, all right, man, couple years from now, I can build my credit here. I can fucking I can put away like every year I can put away 5,000. Look at these guys that fucking did it. Like, don't they fucking just look at all these models and take a little bit from everybody. And if you look, they are sharing their secrets because they know they ain't gonna live forever. Somebody's over 50, they're over half their life, man. They don't gotta fucking, they haven't made their money. They ain't gonna be making it. Okay. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you that. If you're 50 years old and you're not educated and you never made nothing, the odds are you're not going to make it. You're not going to have anything. I mean, there's Colonel Sanders. There's a couple stories like that of older people that made. What you don't know is those people that made it. They were working on it their whole life. They're well in the second half of their life really hit that weren't grinding it out when they were younger. I mean, because they were trying. They were okay. Here's what they did. When they were in their 20s, they tried this. Really put in their effort. In their 30s, they tried and work out. In their 40s, they tried this. 50s, finally at the end. I told you. Look at Morgan Freeman. The dude was jazz dancer at LACC or acting classes in his 20s. It took him till he was in his late 50s, mid 50s, till he fully hit a fucking movie, Driving Miss Daisy. It took him like 55 years. 55 fucking years. Okay? Then it snowballed like fucking insane. I mean, I know it's just one analogy, as an actor. I'm not saying that's the only way to go. But, was it Eckhart Tolle, whatever? The guy who was still living with his mom, till he finally, at 50 years old, finally, he hit with one book. Finally. It took 50 years. So, but you don't see the work grinding all the way. It's like when I go out, and somebody sees what kind of condition I'm in, they don't see, the amount of time and work and what I put in to get like that. And no, only been, I got back in, I started working out a couple months ago again, but once I start writing shit down, that's when my gains just go, I really fucking start taking off. And I have to look at my training logs. I think I started late August. It's been about a month and a week. But in that span of a month and a week, I've been to the gym like 50 times or once a day, And it's not just I go once over once, it's what I invest in high quality supplementation, good quality, nutrient dense foods. I'm eating every like 3 hours, like everything is like fucking perfect, the way I do it. And that's how I went from like 150 pounds, like lean, not bad at 150. It's almost like 175, like this. Now that's it's over. I'm going up. But my point is that, I get fucking into this shit, dude. Working on my doctorate degree, and I really have not been able to pin down financial success yet. I haven't been able to do that yet. I'm not giving up, but again, it's like I want it all for me, but I want it all because I want to get a woman like that. That's all. I really, really want something like that, and I know what's going on in her mind. She wants to see that mansion, that property, or she wants to see it damn near to completion. And I'm not there. Like I'm basically like a land, right? It's fucking huge. Oh, it's all lit up. It's fucking incredible. I guarantee that it's unbelievable. It's like it looks like the fucking Parthenon at the Acropolis, but it's real. Like it's a fucking house. It's on the fucking top. Like it overlooks, Like I look at that house and I think, my God, Will Smith said that. Like he laid one brick year and a fucking half. It might not sound like it's that long, but when you're working like he said, I thought that it would never get done. He thought it's never gonna fucking get done. It's got a year and a half. It takes what it takes, dude. You have to fucking remember